Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Los here. We back on the throne of positivity where the first is last and the last is first. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these upcoming Christian videos. I have to be real, this video I'm kind of excited about because I've been praying to the Lord for a while in regard to this topic, and I think that He's finally allowing me to do it. So strap in, let's go ahead and get ready. I am nervous, but I'm excited because God is going to allow me to reveal some intimate things and express myself in a higher degree than I normally do. So let's go ahead and get into it. Had to move the mic a little bit because I don't want my little donkey over there. He got to be in the shot. He the superstar. But anyways, man, today is going to be a really good video. How good does it feel to express yourself and, things that you've been holding in for a long time, to be able to express it to other people? So it's going to be a good video. I got my favorite shirt on. This is a shirt that I've loved for so long. It says pop art is for everyone. I like the little pocket. It got a double. Then it got like a little flowers in the background. I love this shirt, man. It got like a hole on the bottom. I don't even care, man. This is my favorite shirt. So yeah, I got it tuned in. This is going to be a special video. So what am I referencing in regard to the desires of our heart? First of all, I want to give you a message of encouragement before we get into my side of things. God knows the desires of your heart. But like the Bible says in the book of Psalms, you have to delight yourself in Him, and He's going to give you those desires. And it's so beautiful, like me being on this side of that promise, like, okay, God, I see that you have blessed me with the desires of my heart. Like, I have been obsessed with cleaning this place up and down. Like, everything I do, I'm cleaning. I'm already like that type of person, but I've been just extra with it. And I want to tell you, like, God knows what you are going through. Just hold on a little bit longer because He's working things out. He's ironing it out. Because how is it that we want the exceedingly and abundantly greater than what we can imagine, but then we want to settle for what we can imagine? Like, that doesn't make sense, people. And we always think we're ready when we're not ready. The only time you're going to be ready for the blessing of God is when you receive the blessing of God. Like, there's no other way. Like, no other time before or after that are you going to be ready. So always remember that. Like, when you're trying to gauge, okay, what's going on with my promise? How is He preparing you for that? You start to gauge based on what is He releasing into your hands. And like, for example, me, I saw how I went, like we mentioned in the last video, when I came to California, sleeping on a couch. Then we moved to Mission Valley. I was sleeping on that twin bed for a year there. Then we moved out and it was just me and Justin, the place before here, for another year, sleeping on the floor with that twin size bed. And I'm gonna put a picture up because this week I had to throw it out. I have it in my car and I'm so glad to get rid of that thing. But it was sentimental because it reminded me of my suffering, my sacrifice, and the tear-soaked pillows and blankets and mattress that thing absorbs. So it was definitely special. And then from sleeping 2 years on the floor in a mattress that was smaller than even me, God brought me to this condo. And what I'm trying to say with that is, like, look at how God promotes you little by little so that you could see, okay, this is how close we are to the blessing that God has for me. So that's what you have to look at in your life. If this is the blessing that He has for you and you're over here, what are the things leading up to it? You can see it because God promotes little by little. God took Joseph from his family. He was sold into slavery. From the pit, he went to the prison. Then he went to the palace. There was these steps. Although it didn't seem like promotion, if he was honest and reflecting within himself, he could see how God was taking him to what He revealed to him all those years before. So you need to do that in your own relationship with God. Is like, okay, Lord, show me where I am in this process, because man, it's so worth the sacrifice. I have to just say it. Like, I'm not crying tears of pain and suffering anymore. I'm crying different types of tears, two types of tears, and I'll get into that in a minute. That suffering, I don't even remember it anymore. That's how crazy the blessing of God is. It's like, yo, what was all of that I was going through? I remember it, but I don't feel that. It's like, it's a memory, but it doesn't exist. And if I forget it, then it never happened. Like, that's how powerful and beautiful the blessing of God is that, yo, I can't even associate with that anymore. I just have the experience. It's on my resume, but that's it. So continue holding on, because you don't even know how close you are to your blessing. Imagine that. And me personally, I feel like I'm this close to the fullness of his glory, of seeing that blessing enact in my life. So I said that this video is going to be talking about the desires of my heart and like dealing with insecurities, right? Let's get into that, because I think this is going to help somebody. I'm going to be vulnerable. You guys know that that's what I want to do. I promised the Lord, I always told him, I don't care what I look like, what I sound like. As long as I'm pointing back to you, God, I will do anything. If you forgive me of my sins, oh God, I'm going to teach sinners the way to get to you. I will point to you always and exalt and glorify your name that is above every name. So if that takes me being embarrassed or my name being smeared or whatever, you guys look at me however you want, I don't care. But what I'm talking about is, you guys obviously know that the desire of my heart, I have not been shy in saying this, is to be married. I want my wife, like I want a family. I want this house to be filled with the sound of her voice. Like, yo, I don't even know if we recognize how much of a blessing it is to have somebody who loves you, but not only loves you, but loves Christ and God more than anything else in the world. That everything they do is to seek after God, to honor him, to exalt him, and remain humble in their own life, no matter what God does in their life, good or bad. They're always giving the glory to God. Imagine like loving somebody like that, but then also being loved by somebody like that. That to me is like, whoa, I don't know if there's any other greater blessing than that outside of Christ himself. So the last few weeks, since like the beginning of September, I would say, God has been working in one of my greatest insecurities. And I'm going to tell you what my insecurity is. My greatest insecurity is, for some reason, no matter what, I have not been able to believe that my wife would love me. And I know that sounds so dumb, bro. Like, I know it sounds so stupid. But just on the basis of what I've been through in my own personal life, in my childhood, in my home, and the things that I have gone through, even in San Diego, it's like I have the hardest trouble believing that she would love me. This woman of my heart, this woman of my dreams. Like, I have no problem like saying that I would love her, like, because I know that I love her. And I know that because this woman has been in my heart since a child, and I can't wait for the day that he returns us and he brings us together again. Because, and I say return and I use the word again because she's been in my heart this whole time. And I truly believe that just like John in the womb of his mother Elizabeth, when she went to go see her cousin Mary, I feel like my soul and my heart is going to rejoice at the sight of her, and I will know that she is the one. And like, I've never doubted my love for that person, but my insecurity comes from kind of getting into my past life, a little bit about my childhood. I want to say this before even getting into it. No matter what I say following, I want you to always keep in mind that I say this to the honor and glory of God, and the honor and glory of God through my parents, to them, honor to them as well, and honor to my family, my siblings. So don't take this and be like, oh yeah, they're such bad people or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But the reality of my childhood is trauma. That's the only thing that I can say about the way that I grew up. As a child, our home was cold. It was very cold. We didn't say I love you. We didn't hug. We didn't, We barely even said hello to each other when we walked through the door. Our life was filled with trauma, with turmoil, with anxiety, depression, a lot of darkness, a lot of solitude, a lot of hurt and pain. The divorce of my parents, it caused a lot of trauma to me personally. And again, I'll preface this by saying, although my father wasn't in my life, I still honor my father, right? He wasn't in my life. I grew up with a single mom who raised 5 children by herself. So I want you guys to understand this. That woman is superwoman. And she is literally the standard that I have for any woman in this world that would be the woman of my heart that God has for me. Because that woman, although she didn't vocalize her love for us, although she didn't embrace us in that way because of her own experiences and the things she went through in her own life, she still showed us love through acts of service. I really believe that is my mom's love language, is acts of service. She would always clean the house, bro. Imagine a single mother. My mom is 16 years older than me. She had me at 16. So me and my mom weren't like son and mother. We were like brother and sister, bro. Like we would argue, we would fight, like we would, it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? But despite all of that, being single mother with 5 kids by the time she was like 21, 22, she raised us all, kept the house clean. She was washing the dishes. She fed us every meal time. We didn't miss a meal. We had it all, bro. Like we had it all. Yeah, sometimes, things we couldn't get. Sometimes the lights or whatever, like there was a lot of things that happened. But my mom, bro, I could barely dude, I could barely take care of myself right now with this economy. Imagine being single with 5 kids, raising them. And she held like 2-3 jobs at a time. That was my mother's love language. And I'll say this, after Christ, God really worked in both of us. He worked in both of us in a lot of ways, because now my mom, every opportunity she gets, she's very intentional in telling me I love you, or putting that foot forward. And I really appreciate that about her now that we're older. And as I got older, I realized, and I was like, yo, I didn't know what I had as a child. Like I didn't really recognize that. And I think maturing is recognizing that your parents lived in a world that they lived in, and at one point they were in your position, and the way that they love you is an interpretation of the experience that they already lived. So my mother and my dad, they've been through trauma that I don't even know to this day. But anyway, so the honor and glory of God through my mother and my parents. That, however, created an insecurity in me. I never felt worthy of being loved. I hated myself as a child. I felt like I was so ugly. I felt like I was so worthless. Like I hated my life. Life had no value to me at all. I was disgusted by myself. I swear to you, when I looked in the mirror, I hated myself. And I was so insecure as a child. And I was socially awkward and anxious. I would be so afraid. Like I would literally tense up and sweat, and my heart would palpitate, and my mind would fog and freeze up, and I wouldn't know how to interact with people. And that caused this insecurity in me that, like, why would my wife ever love somebody like me? Like, I don't know, man. And although God has healed me from that, it's not as deep as it used to be. It's still a struggle that I have had. And this past month in September, God has been showing me stuff about this woman in my heart, and dealing with that insecurity in ways that I never even imagined, right? So I want to explain some things. Like, I've been praying to the Lord about several things, and this woman has been in my heart. She's always in my heart. I'm always thinking about her. Like, literally, I can't stop thinking about her. And I'm always praying for her throughout the day, wherever she is in this world. I don't know her. I don't know her at all. And I'm always interceding for her. But this past month, God has been dealing with me and my insecurities, and her specifically, like to pray for her and whatever she's going through. And my prayer has always been, Lord, just like you took the burdens of your church, God, let me bear whatever insecurities, anxieties, worries, darkness, whatever's ailing her or afflicting her. Take all of that and put it on me. Let me endure that. Let me be crushed. Let me be destroyed. Obliterate me completely. But preserve her, protect her, love her, oh God, and comfort her and remind her of her identity in Christ. Let her see herself the way that you see her, oh God. That's been my prayer, because I love this woman. Like, I can't explain how I love somebody that I don't even know. Again, she's been in my heart since a child, so I guess that explains it. But I ask for those things as much as would not impede her growth. The way that God has been working through me in these insecurities this past month so strongly has been confronting me head on with the insecurity. And he has been giving me these dreams. I won't reveal too much of it, but I've been having like nonstop dreams about this woman, and for some reason he's been showing me her love language, like to prepare me for what's to come. I don't even know how to explain it, but the gist or the sentiment in all of these dreams is that, I don't know why, but I feel like he's telling me she's not going to be a vocal person, that she's going to be a warm and loving person and demonstrate her love through touch, like through hugs and kisses and affection that way, not through her words. I don't know why. Like, it's just, that's what he's been showing me in all of these dreams that I've had. Like, for some reason it feels like her hugs are gonna be worth more than her words. And it's so incredible, because I'm like, Lord, you know that that's something that I've felt denied of my whole life. Like, I have a longing, a yearning, a desire to be held in that way, to be, touched and kissed and loved in that way. And love language of touch is like, people often misconstrue that with like a sexual connotation. It doesn't, those things don't have to be physical, you know what I mean? In the sense of that type of intimacy. But touch is physical in the sense that it's a way of communicating. And since I've been denied that for my whole life, I feel I've always shown people that type of love. Like, I may not be the best with my words, but I always want to like throw myself on top of people and hold them and hug them and just be like a bear and be all up on them, you know what I mean? And love them in that platonic type of way. So the fact that God has showed me this through my dreams is like, man, I'll be waking up and I'll be like, whoa, like I'll be feeling butterflies and hearts all over. And it's just been incredible. And I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but this is something, I didn't have this dream now, but like a year or two ago. And in this dream, two dreams, but they seemed like the same dream, separate dreams. In the first dream, I don't know where we were, but I was in this like backyard, right? And there was this huge, long, rectangular pool. And my wife is on one side, and I'm in like the middle section of the pool, and I'm with her family. And like her brother comes to me, or I guess it's her brother, or her family member comes to me, and he's like, yo, she keeps looking at you. You better go over there and hug her, like go be with her before she gets mad and tears you up. And the whole point of the dream was that she like bought this house. This house was like massive. And we were celebrating her, and he was like, yo, go hug her, go show her your love, you know what I'm saying, before she gets mad at you. And then the second dream, this was our home. Like, we were in the home, and again, this house was a mansion, bro. Like, I'm not trying to brag or anything. This is just what God showed me that he blessed us with. And this mansion was huge, and she was in the living room, the sala, right? She was on the sofa with one of those portable like tables that you could eat on, and she was like doing some type of artwork. But she was like, I don't know if it's like this, whatever, she was doing artwork with her head this way. And then two of our children, I won't say the genders, but two of our children were with their own little tables doing it too, and she was doing like a family activity with them. And I'm like, man, she's just spending time with them. And in the dream, I'm looking at that, and I just felt this overwhelming love for her. So I walked towards her and I sit next to her. And as she's like this, I come over and I'm like hugging her and I'm putting my head over her. And then again, with everything that I've been dreaming this past month, I felt like God is like, yo, her love language is going to be that touch. It's going to be spending quality time with you. It's not going to be vocal. It's not going to be in words. So have that type of knowledge when I finally bring this woman to you. And it's just beautiful that God has been dealing with my insecurities in this way, because throughout these past couple of weeks in September, just over and over and over again, he's been reminding me, like, don't even worry. Don't have any fear. That woman is going to love you for who you are. And it just means so much to me, bro. Like, that God took his time and was patient with me. And he's dealing with these things that really hurt me and that I'm always constantly thinking about. Like, does this woman really love me? I don't know. Wherever she is in the world, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And obviously, I should know that. And I do know that. But we are the culmination of our experiences and the trauma we've had in the past. And that's just something that I couldn't get over. And I've finally gotten over it. And it's been beautiful, man. I want to tell you, like, bring your insecurities to God so that he could work in you, so that that can be worked out, so that when you get to your spouse, you can finally show that love in the way that is effective. You know what I mean? Because we all have our own languages. And it's just been beautiful these past 2 weeks being in this apartment. I don't know, I think it's almost 3 weeks or something. But wow, I'm so excited for what's to come, because I truly believe, like, I'm so close to whatever God has for me. And just being honest, man, like, I've been crying out to the Lord. I said that I've been crying 2 types of tears. Number one is overwhelming love that I felt for God for giving me the blessing. And number 2, I've been just crying out. You know, when you don't have words, your words are just tears. That has been the cry of my heart, the anguish of my soul for this woman. I have been like weeping, bro, and like begging God. I don't know. I feel like Spanish describes it more. El clamor de mi alma, el gemir de mi corazón. Like, I don't know how to say that in English, but it's like a gasping for air. I'm talking about like weeping for this woman. And I've just been praying for God to protect her and to love her and, you know, let her feel love, to speak on my behalf, you know, to her, that she may feel loved or whatever it is. Like, and I've been begging God. I'll be on the bed over there where I told you guys, I showed you. I'll be on her side of the bed, what I assume is her side of the bed, on my knees, and I just soak the blanket with my tears, asking God, like, Lord, this is not the fulfillment of your promise, and I'm holding on to you, that you would bring us together soon. Because, man, dude, like, I just be telling God, if I could be honest, like, I'm tired of being alone, bro. I felt so alone my whole life. Like, I don't want to be alone anymore, man. I'm tired. Like, I'll be crying throughout the day. I'm not saying all day I'll be crying, but like in the morning I'll wake up and I'll just be begging God, like, yo, Lord, give dreams, Lord. Just bring us together. Reveal us to each other and bring us together. And at night I'm crying out to God with tears, weeping, like, Lord, I'm tired of being alone. I can't even imagine what this woman feels like. Lord, please bring us together. I know you know the desires of our heart. May it be for your glory. May we glorify you and dedicate ourselves to you with everything that we have, that we may serve together. Because your word, God said, he created everything. Imagine all of creation, all the beauty that you see. He created it all, and of everything, the only thing that he called everything good. But there was only one thing that he said that wasn't good. It is not good for man to be alone. But wait, hold on, God, weren't you with Adam in the garden? Of course. So God has determined within himself that it is not good for man to be alone. Even him having God, He has determined and designed man in a way so that he was created for God, but created also to partner with his helpmate so that they could accomplish the mission and vision of God. And this is where I kind of get upset with the church, is like, single people, I feel like they put us in the bottom. They put us in a box and they put us in the corner and just like, yo, figure it out. Be satisfied with the Lord. Shut up and don't complain. And it's like, dang, that's so unfortunate, man. We have so strong desires and we want to glorify God and honor him in the way that he has determined us to do so. And we kind of being ignored by the church. I just want to tell you, your singleness and what you're feeling, that love, that desire, ese anhelo of that person that you have is holy and is righteous unto God. That burning that you feel, that physical desire that you have, that's righteous. Be careful what you do with that. But that burning that you feel is righteous as well. And God is going to create a place, an environment where all of those things will be able to be expressed in holy matrimony, in the holiness of his presence to his glory. Imagine that. The world perverts the love and the physical beauty of marriage, and they take it outside of its context. But God one day is going to allow you to glorify him through that. So know that your desire for a spouse, your desire to not be single anymore is a good thing. Your physical desire and attraction is a good thing. Just be responsible for it. The camera cut off on me, so I'm going to keep it short. I know I was getting a little ahead of myself, but I just wanted to remind you that if you're single, it's okay with what you feel. Don't let anybody demonize what you feel. Just remember that we are always holy unto God, and everything we're doing is to his glory. Continue to seek after the Lord. Bless his mighty name. Exalt him in everything you do. Keep him at the center. Let him be the very membrane by which you would experience all the world and all of creation. Is not just put him first and last and everything in between. No, he's the very essence, the membrane by which you pass through to even experience all the goodness and the abundance that he has created for our enjoyment. So bless his name, keep him in the center, and remember that God knows the desires of your heart. Ask him to deal with your insecurities. Do what you need to do so that God may be glorified, and one day those things will be taken care of. Before long, you're going to open your eyes and you're going to have the blessing right before you. So keep going. That suffering that you're experiencing right now is nothing compared to the glory that is to be revealed through his blessing. Have faith. Continue to pray for me. I'm praying for you guys. And man, your boy, like I'll be telling God, Lord, I'm tired of being alone. Please bless me. So guys, pray for me. I'll pray for you. Hope the holidays are coming up and that you enjoy it with your family. And anyways, guys, again, as a reminder, this is a viewer supported ministry. So if you guys want to help, please click the link in the description below. There's ways that you could support the ministry to continue to advance the kingdom and the gospel. So y'all know what it is. It's Los here. We on the throne of positivity where nobody shall dethrone us. We out.